What is up, everybody? This is Savage Batman here, back with another episode of the Social Podcast. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Um, so we've had a crazy weekend in baseball. The Red Sox got the sweep over the Yankees. With their first game last Friday, the 16th, winning 15-5. Game two in this series, which Sunday, Father's Day, was a doubleheader. So game two was 6-2, and then game 6-2 Red Sox, and then game three was 4-1 Red Sox, and we got 15-5 was the final score for the Red Friday the 6th and June 16th. So hopefully, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Um, so, um, so make sure you guys hit that like button. Um, it'll really appreciate I'll really appreciate if you guys do. Um, but but the USFL, as I was watching it over the weekend, um, the Pittsburgh Maulers won the division, or the North Division. Um, and then I think Birmingham won the South Division. Um, so uh, Birmingham, I believe, went 8-2. They might have went 8-2. I don't remember exactly. Um, um, I can look for you guys. It's not what that is exactly what I don't want. And I know the DC Defenders won the XFL championship not that long ago. It's been about, I don't know, like 2 months. 2 or 3 months, I would say. No, it hasn't been that long. Um, that was Saturday, May 13th. So it's about a month ago. And the Arlington Renegades won 35-26 over um, the DC Defenders. Um, so I guess I can go over like each game by each week what the scores were. Starting off in week one, so Saturday, February 18th. The Vegas Vipers and the Arlington Renegades. Arlington won 22-20, which was the first one at 3 o'clock Eastern. This is way back. It started way back in February too. So, which I think was only like 10 weeks, and only like 8 teams. So, and then the Orlando Guardians and the Houston Roughnecks. Houston won 33-12. And then Sunday, February 19th, the St. Louis Battlehawks beat the San Antonio Brahmas 18-15. And then the DC Defenders beat the Seattle City Dragons 22-18. And then now on to week two. Um, so this was a Thursday game. Um, so The St. Louis Battlehawks beat the Seattle Sea Dragons 20-18. This was Thursday, February 23rd. Was it Thursday game week 3? No, I don't think it was. No, it isn't. And then Saturday, the 25th of February, uh, DC beats Vegas 18-6. And then San Antonio beats Orlando 30-12. And then the Houston Roughnecks beat the Arlington Renegades 23-14. Now week 3. Now we're into March. So the Sea Dragons beat the Vipers 30-26. The Defenders beat the Battlehawks 34-28. And then the Arlington Renegades beat the Guardians 10-9. And then the Roughnecks beat the Bahamas 22-13. And then week 4, the Roughnecks beat the Guardians 44-16. The Sea Dragons beat the Bahamas 15-6. And then St. Louis beats Arlington 24-11. And then week 5. So this was another Thursday game in week 5, March 16th. The Houston Roughnecks beat the Seattle Sea Dragons. The Sea Dragons beat Houston 21-14. And then DC beats St. Louis 28-20. And then Vegas beats Orlando 35-32. And then week 6, the Sea Dragons beat the Guardians 26-19. Then the Battlehawks beat the Vipers 29-6. As if you guys are confused, I'm just going over the XFL schedule and the games that had already happened. Then the Bahamas beat the Renegades 15-9, and then DC beats Houston 37-26. At this point, DC was the last, I believe, remaining undefeated team going into week 7. And then this was Friday, March 31st. Uh, the Sea Dragons beat the Renegades 24-15. And then the Bahamas lose to the Vipers 26-12. And then the Guardians getting their first win of the season, being the undefeated DC Defenders 37-36. And then that Sunday after this was WrestleMania weekend. So, and then the day after, April 2nd, St. Louis wins 24-15. And then week 8, this was the day of Master Jam, so couldn't really watch any of these, which was April 8th. And then the Battlehawks beat the Vipers 21-17. Really the first normal score. I mean, 37-36 is. I mean, it wasn't really. See, trying to think. I don't remember if there were really any normal scores. I mean, 30-12 has happened in the NFL, but 20-18 has happened a few times. 10-9 has only happened, I believe, a couple times. 34-28 has happened. 30-26 has happened. 32-28 has happened. I don't know about 44-16. I don't know if that's ever happened. 12-10. I remember that game. Dallas and New Orleans in 2019 Week 4. 21-14 is pretty regular. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it's happened a few times. I mean, 26-19 has happened. 37-36 has happened. 26-12. I don't really know if that's really happened. 34-33 has happened. 17-15 has happened. 18-16, 21-17 has happened. And then speaking of 18-16, the Renegades beat the Guardians 18-16. And then the Roughnecks beat the Brahmas 17-15. And then the Defenders beat the Sea Dragons 34-33. And then week 9, the Roughnecks beat the Vipers 28-21, which I was actually pretty regular. And then the Bahamas beat the Guardians 25-23. The Defenders beat the Renegades, who later, I believe Arlington does. I believe DC does beat them in the championship. And then the St. Louis, then the Sea Dragons beat the Battlehawks 30-12. And then week 10, the last week in the regular season, Arlington beats DC in the championship. All right. Week 10, the Battlehawks beat the Guardians 53-28. The Defenders beat the Bahamas 29-28. I believe 29-28 has happened before. And then the Roughnecks beat the Renegades 25-9. And then the Sea Dragons beat the Vipers 28-9. And then the division championships. The Defenders beat um, the Defenders beat the Sea Dragons 37-21. And then the Renegades beat the Roughnecks 26-11, and then the Renegades win 35. Renegades win 35-26 in the championship game over the DC Defenders. I'm ready to look it up because I don't remember. The official site of the official United States Football League. Which, keep in mind, I think they should add at least 4 or 5 more teams, at least 6 more. I mean, I'd say at least 8, at least 16. I should say. All right, we're going back to week 1. All right, week 1, the Philadelphia Stars beat the Memphis Showboats 27-23. The Birmingham Stallions beat the New Jersey Generals 27-10. Then the Michigan Panthers beat the Houston Gamblers 29-13. And then the New Orleans Breakers beat the Pittsburgh Maulers 22-15. And then week 2, the New Orleans Breakers win 38-31 over the Houston Gamblers, which I was actually pretty regular. And then the Birmingham Stallions beat the Memphis Showboats 42-2. And then the New Jersey Generals beat the Pittsburgh Maulers 20-3, which I was actually pretty regular. And then the Michigan Panthers beat the Philadelphia Stars 24-10. Which Michigan actually did beat Philadelphia in their second game. And then the New Orleans Breakers beat the Birmingham Stallions 45-31. Which I think this happened a couple times. Memphis loses to Houston 30-26. And then the Pittsburgh Maulers beat the Philadelphia Stars 21-13. And then the Generals beat the Panthers 28-13. And then week 4, the Houston Gamblers beat the Philadelphia Stars 41-16. The Memphis Showboats beat the Michigan Panthers 29-10. And then the New Orleans Breakers beat the New Jersey Generals 20-17. And then the Stallions beat the Maulers 24-20. And then week 5, and then I'll go over the playoffs once the playoffs are done. Then the Maulers beat the Panthers 23-7. The Gamblers beat the Stallions 27-20. The Stars beat the Generals 24-21. And then the Showboats beat the Breakers 17-10. And then week 6, the Memphis Showboats went 22-0 over the Maulers. 27-13. Birmingham wins over Michigan. And then the Stars beat the Breakers 16-10. And then the Gamblers win 16-10 over the New Jersey Generals. Then week 7, the Breakers lose to the Stallions 24-20. Then the Stars win 37-31 over the Maulers. And then they go on to lose like 3 straight, the Stars after that. And then lose their division hopes to Michigan, which Pittsburgh eventually won the division. And then Memphis beat Houston 23-20. And then Michigan won 25-22 over the New Jersey Generals. And then week 8, it was a couple weeks ago. I feel like there was an overtime game. I feel like there was an overtime game, but I don't remember which one. It might have been the XFL. Week 8, the Gamblers beat the Maulers 20-19. And then the Stallions beat the Stars 27-24. And then the Showboats win 25-16 over the Generals. Then the Breakers win 24-20 over the Michigan Panthers. And then week 9, the Maulers beat the Panthers 19-7. The Breakers beat the Showboats 31-3. The Stallions beat, which is actually last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, June 10th to the 11th. And then the Stallions win 38-15 over the Gamblers. Then the Stars lose 37-33 to the Generals. And I told you they'd lose 3 straight after. All right, now week 10. This was Saturday, June. This was the other day. The Maulers beat the Generals 26-6 to get into the playoffs. Then the Birmingham Stallions win 27-20 to win the South Division and get into the playoffs. And then the Breakers beat the Gamblers 17-10. The Breakers beat the Gamblers 17-10 to get into the playoffs. And then the Panthers beat the Stars, eliminating the Stars as the Maulers win the division at 4-6. And then Saturday, June 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern, the Maulers will take on the Panthers. And then Sunday, June 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern, the Birmingham Stallions will be taking on the New Orleans Breakers. Then at 8 p.m. Eastern on July 1st, on Peacock and NBC, the winner of New Orleans and Birmingham and Pittsburgh and Michigan will be taking on in the finals. And then the standings, what was it? Clinched. So the Maulers win the division at 4-6. The Panthers go 4-6. The Stars get eliminated, going 4-6, and the New Jersey goes 3-7. And then the Stallions go 8-2, winning the division, and then the Breakers go 7-3. The Gamblers go 5-5, and the Showboats go 5-5. So, I'll probably end this episode here in a couple minutes, probably. But that's really it for the USFL. I will be doing more episodes on this podcast. It may not be every day, but I will be doing more episodes on this podcast. Um, so yeah. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this episode. Um, so I'm going to wrap this episode up here. So make sure you guys hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.